Democrats have so normalized hatred and violence against the President of the United States that I fear it will result in some crazy lefty trying to assassinate him. And it's not just the president against whom their rage is directed. It's all Republicans and conservatives. They are no longer the opposition party. They are the reckless party, putting lives in danger. Look, it's one thing to disagree. It's what America's all about. But we are now in a danger zone of complete hatred and chaos, unlike anything we've witnessed in American history. The normalization of calling for the assassination, decapitation, or the beating of any president is simply shocking. And it is the extension of this hatred that trickles down and motivates people like the shooter of Congressman Scalise. That shooter wasn't crazy. That's too easy. He hated Republicans and thought they should die. He was focused on his targets, cognizant enough to inquire about the specific party of those baseball players. His history was that of an individual who hated President Trump and Republicans, and he was no doubt oriented as to person, place, and time. They don't have a message. The only message is a message of hate. The Democratic Party right now is a party of hate and destruction, and I think it's anti-American. I really do. I'm sorry. When you talk about, killing the president and doing the stuff that they've been doing, it's disgusting. So what am I talking about? Shakespeare in the Park, where a Donald Trump lookalike is beaten, kicked, and stabbed to death in front of an audience that waits in line for hours to get in. And just this week, Johnny Depp talking about the assassination of President Trump.
This is the last time an actor assassinated a president. I want to clarify, I'm not an actor. I lie for a living. However, it's been a while. And maybe it's time.
Maybe it's time. Kathy Griffin posing with a bloody likeness of the president's head after saying she'd be happy to deliver a beatdown to 10-year-old Barron Trump. And this from Madonna.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Charlie Sheen tweeting that he wishes God would take Donald Trump out next. And Mickey Rourke threatening to beat the president with a baseball bat, calling him the biggest scumbag on the planet. Patti LuPone, the subject of tonight's Street Justice, saying she would refuse to perform should the President of the United States walk into that theater. Why?
Tell me why.
Because I hate the How's that?
By the way, notice a theme here? They're all has-beens. Of course they're going to stand in the way of progress. They forgot what it's like to be a success. And the attempted assassination of Congressman Scalise is an example of a base that's been motivated by this hate speech. An individual who bought the talking points of the violent left. And make no mistake, there is a cause and effect, a feeling that the actions are justified. The actions are an extension of the verbal hatred. And courts have held verbal hate speech can be considered an incitement to violence or an incitement to riot. This isn't about free speech. Everyone has the right to free speech. We respect that right, and no one says you cannot speak freely. But here's the kicker. There are consequences. I don't see Republicans flipping their lids, trying to burn down buildings in ninja outfits when a Democrat, progressive, or socialist tries to speak. Real silencing occurs when a conservative, though, tries to speak at a liberal university like Berkeley, and the party of anger and violence acts on their hatred. When a police department says, we can't protect a Republican speaker. There's a reason the Democrats are in a downward spiral and keep losing. They've lost the last 4 congressional races since the election of President Trump. And while the president is focused on jobs, the economy, and our safety and security, the Democrats keep fighting over bathrooms and Russia collusion that seems more a problem to me of the Obama administration, who ignored it because they were connected to Russia and they figured Hillary was going to win anyway. But I digress. And while they continue to riot and spew their venom, claiming it's their First Amendment right, Americans see this party for what it is. A party of liberal rage, hatred, and intolerance. A party that, like their last candidate for president, has no message other than calling opponents names like homophobic, xenophobic, racist, and deplorable. It didn't work in 2016. It isn't working now, and it never will work. I worry, though, and you should worry for our president and all elected officials. In spite of the Kumbaya sung after Congressman Scalise's shooting, a state Democratic official was just caught on tape saying he's glad Scalise got shot and he wishes he were dead. The trickling down of hate is a danger to us all. And that's my open. Tell me what you think on my Facebook page or Twitter, #Judge Jeanine.